All right, so we're back for another deep dive, and today let's jump right into this story that's got everybody talking online. Like, it's just blown up over the past few hours. Music money, a little bit of mystery, it's all there. We're talking about a story that popped up on Allure Supercall earlier today, January 9th, 2025, and it involves a couple of pretty big names. Portable, the Nigerian street pop star, the one who's always stirring things up. And on the other side of things, we've got Skepta, the UK grime legend.
Yeah, this whole thing started with a royalty payment for their track Tony Montana. And then Skepta goes and drops this cryptic tweet that everyone's trying to figure out what he really means.
It's kind of crazy how one little tweet can just send the internet into a frenzy, right?
It really is.
So before we get into all the theories and speculation, we should probably start with Portable. For anyone out there who might not be super familiar with the Nigerian music scene, can you give us a quick rundown on who this guy is?
Oh man, where do I even begin? So his real name is Habib Okiela Badmus, but everybody just knows him as Portable. He's kind of a big deal over in Nigeria, known for his super raw, high-energy street pop sound. And let me tell you, he's not exactly shy about expressing himself, both in his music and online. Remember that Instagram voice note he posted a while back?
Oh yeah, the one where he's like bouncing off the walls, pure chaotic energy.
Exactly. That's Portable in a nutshell. And it looks like that energy carries over to his finances too. The Allure Supergirl article talks about how Portable went on Instagram, sharing this voice note where he's just gushing about Skepta for the royalty payment he got for Tony Montana. He even goes as far as calling Skepta like the kind of helper everyone needs.
Wow, so it sounds like he's pretty happy about this payment, and he's definitely not holding back on the praise for Skepta. But this is where things start to get a little bit interesting, right? Enter the cryptic tweet.
Yeah, things definitely take a turn here.
Yeah.
So Skepta retweets Portable's message, all that excitement and gratitude, and he adds this simple caption, "Greed, no dim my dictionary, hashtag Tony Montana."
Okay, so we definitely need to unpack that. I mean, we all know Skepta is a huge name in UK grime, but he's also got this reputation for being really supportive of up-and-coming artists. Remember the time he brought out that young MC from Nottingham at Glastonbury? Like, that kid's career totally exploded after that.
Yeah.
So this whole thing with Portable, the royalty payment, the tweet, it just feels deliberate, like he's making a statement.
It definitely goes beyond just a regular business transaction. And you're right about Skepta. He's always been about helping new talent, especially artists who haven't quite hit the mainstream yet. But that greed dictionary comment, that's what's really got people talking.
The fans are going wild with interpretations. Some are taking it at face value, praising Skepta for being so generous, saying he's not like those other industry bigwigs who are just obsessed with money. Then you've got the skeptics who are questioning Portable's sincerity, thinking he might be trying to milk this whole situation for publicity.
And of course, you've got the meme makers, already churning out hilarious content. Someone even photoshopped Skepta's face onto a dictionary cover with the definition of greed all crossed out. Classic internet humor.
It's amazing how social media just amplifies every single angle of a story, from like the heartfelt appreciation to the jokes and commentary. But let's circle back to Skepta's tweet for a second. What do you think he's really trying to say here? Is it about his personal values, a comment on the music industry as a whole, maybe even a subtle nod to Portable's larger-than-life personality?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to really understand it, I think we need to go beyond just the surface level. We need to look at Skepta's history, his artistic philosophy, and the whole dynamic of the music industry itself.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. Let's dive into those layers and see what we can find.
I mean, Skepta's always been super vocal about staying true to his roots, like that whole DIY spirit of grime. He built his career from the ground up, battling in underground clubs, putting out his own mixtapes, collaborating with other artists who shared that same vision. So there's always been this strong sense of authenticity and community in his work.
So this tweet could be seen as like an extension of that ethos.
Right.
Like, he's not chasing those big money deals or playing the industry game. He's supporting Portable because he sees the talent and wants to help him succeed on his own terms.
Absolutely. And don't forget the context of the music industry itself. We've seen so many stories of young artists getting taken advantage of by these predatory labels, locked into contracts that just drain their creativity and all their earnings. Skepta, having gone through all that himself, he might be choosing a different path,
Yeah.
One that prioritizes artistic integrity and fairness over just making as much money as possible.
It makes you wonder if that greed dictionary comment is kind of like a subtle dig at those practices.
Yeah.
Like he's saying, I'm not going to be part of that system that leaves so many artists struggling.
It's definitely a possibility. And this isn't even the first time Skepta's called out the industry's dark side. Remember a few years back, he had that whole public feud with one of the major streaming platforms, all over unfair royalty rates for artists. He's not afraid to use his platform to speak up for change, even if it ruffles some feathers.
He's walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It's honestly refreshing to see an artist at his level using his influence to uplift others, especially in an industry that can be so cutthroat.
Yeah, for real. And think about the impact this has on Portable. It's not just about the money, it's about the recognition, the validation, that boost of confidence at such a crucial point in his career. Having someone like Skepta, a global icon, publicly acknowledge his talent and support him financially, it can open doors that might have stayed closed otherwise.
It's a powerful example of how collaboration can go beyond borders and genres, creating this ripple effect that's bigger than just the music itself. This one act of generosity could completely change Portable's trajectory. And who knows, maybe inspire countless other aspiring artists.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good reminder that success doesn't always have to be a zero-sum game. Skepta's actions show that there's room for everyone to win, that supporting each other's growth actually benefits the whole creative ecosystem.
Speaking of creative ecosystems, this whole story really highlights how complex and layered the music industry is. You've got personal motivations, artistic philosophies, industry politics, even social media dynamics. It's like peeling back an onion. Each layer reveals something new and interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we can't forget the cultural context here either. We're talking about a collaboration between a British grime artist and a Nigerian street pop artist. Their music, their backgrounds, their fan bases are all completely distinct, yet they found this common ground through this collaboration. It really speaks to the power of music to bridge cultural divides and create connections that you wouldn't expect.
It's like a musical bridge between Lagos and London, each artist bringing their own unique flavor to the mix. Which brings us back to that greed dictionary comment. In light of everything we've talked about, how do we reconcile that statement with the fact that money is being exchanged here?
That's a great question. And it gets to the core of what Skepta might be trying to communicate. He's not necessarily denying the role of money in the music industry. After all, artists need to be compensated for their work, and financial stability gives them creative freedom. But I think his statement goes deeper than just rejecting wealth.
It's more about the motivation behind making money, right? Is it just about getting rich for yourself, or is it about using those resources to help others, to encourage creativity, to build a more equitable system?
Exactly. It's about recognizing that financial success can be a tool for positive change, a way to empower others and create opportunities that wouldn't exist otherwise.
So Skepta's greed dictionary tweet isn't really about denying money. It's more like a redefinition of its purpose. It's a call to shift the focus from individual gain to collective empowerment, to use financial resources to fuel creativity and build a more supportive community.
Exactly. And that message goes way beyond just the music industry. It's a challenge to all of us, no matter what field we're in, to look at our own motivations and think about how we can use our resources and influence to make a positive impact.
So we've unpacked Skepta's history, his possible motivations, and the wider context of the music industry. But what about Portable? He's been pretty quiet since his initial Instagram posts. Do you think this whole experience might change how he approaches music and collaboration going forward? It's interesting to think about how this whole thing might change Portable's perspective. You know, he's always been kind of a wild card, outspoken Zazu's catchphrase of the whole deal.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's carved out his own lane in the Nigerian music scene for sure. But this whole Skepta thing, the collaboration, the royalties, it could have a real impact on how he approaches his own business dealings going forward.
Maybe we'll see a shift, from the I want my money portable to a more collaborative, let's build this together kind of vibe.
It's possible. And think about what that could mean for the Nigerian music scene as a whole. If Portable, with all his followers and influence, starts pushing for fairer treatment of artists, more equitable sharing of profits, it could set off a chain reaction.
Like a rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. This could be a turning point, not just for Portable and Skepta, but for the way artists collaborate and support each other across genres and continents.
And we can't forget about the fans. They're the ones driving the demand, screaming the music, buying the concert tickets. How they respond to this story, how they interpret Skepta's greed dictionary message. It could shape the expectations they have of artists and the industry as a whole.
Oh,
It's almost like Skepta's thrown down a challenge to both artists and fans. to rethink their roles in this whole creative ecosystem. He's saying, we can do better than the old exploitative model. We can build a system that values artistry fairness, mutual support.
And that's a powerful message, a message worth spreading.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the story of Quotable, Skepta, and the Greed Dictionary, we're left with a lot to think about. The music industry online discourse, the power of individual actions to spark wider conversations.
Yeah, and maybe the biggest takeaway here is this. Don't be afraid to question the way things are offered. Challenge the norms. And remember that collaboration generosity, a commitment to fairness, those things can create a ripple effect that goes way beyond our immediate circles.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope it's given you some food for thought, challenged some assumptions, and maybe even inspired you to take a closer look at your own Greed Dictionary. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going. Please ensure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.